What's up, people? What's up, people? Welcome to Last Call Reacts. So by now, I know I'm not informing you of anything. This is about Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Most of us remember him as Theo Huxtable from The Cosby Show. Now, unfortunately, let me just show you a little bit of the media that have played this out a little bit. So I don't have to give you all the details, and I know you already know most of it.
Welcome back. We have some very sad breaking entertainment news to share with you. TMZ is reporting that Malcolm-Jamal Warner, probably best known for his role on The Cosby Show, reports that the 54-year-old was in Costa Rica on a family vacation and accidentally drowned while swimming. Warner played Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, even earning an Emmy nomination. He most recently starred in Fox's primetime series, Alert Missing Persons Unit. We're going to have much more on this story as it develops. He leaves behind a wife and daughter.
Oh, just shocking, sad news. All right, Amanda, thank you.
All right, we've seen that before. Here's something that I'm also taking from Nappy Yankees channel. It just has to do with a little bit more about where the accident occurred and maybe even some prevention. So that could have been taken as well.
This is where the Cosby Show star Malcolm-Jamal Warner's life suddenly and shockingly ended over the weekend. You can see right now there's a red flag blowing in the wind here. That is a warning that people should not be swimming in these waters. And you can see some choppy waves out here. A source close to Warner tells NBC News that he was here with his wife and his young daughter. They were on vacation, and then on Sunday afternoon, things went horribly wrong. Authorities say that a current pulled him out to sea. People were able to get him back on land, but by then he had no vital signs. Authorities say it appears that he died from asphyxia by submersion. So this is the beach where all this unfolded. But really, as soon as you get here, even before you get onto the beachhead, you can see some warning signs for people who are coming to enjoy the day here. It says Corrientes de Resaca todo el año. Basically warning people there is a current here throughout the year. You can see there are warnings for surfers. There's warnings about wave conditions. And then take a look at this. This massive sign says you can survive a rip current. Clearly, they're warning people about the conditions that can develop. And unfortunately, the conditions appear to have pulled out Malcolm-Jamal Warner over the weekend. The source close to Warner says all signs point to this being a tragic accident. And now Warner's wife, according to that source, is trying to get his body back to the United States so they can prepare for a funeral.
This is unfortunate because by all accounts, he looked like he was a decent dude and conducted himself as such, right? Like I was saying, we all know him from The Cosby Show. We've seen him grow up, right? We grew up with him. That was one of my favorite episodes, the one with the shirt where he says he tucked it all the way into his socks. Remember that? You know, it took us into those problems that we had. And I'm speaking about being a young man as well, a young black man. Remember when he had to fight the guy at school to take the dope back or admit that it was him because he didn't want his dad to make him think that he was doing that stuff. And he had to go back, you know, and again, this is Hollywood, this is TV, but things that we may have come across as young men and the ways that they dealt with it and gave us solutions as well. You know, they did a little funner things where he was, I think, cheating on his girl Justine. Shout out to her, who also died early too. And shout out to everybody this week, like Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan, and just a good vibe. Shout out to anybody listening right now, man. You deserve it. We all deserve it here. So Malcolm-Jamal Warner, he was in Costa Rica with his family. Thank God his daughter didn't pass away too. You know, maybe too Malcolm-Jamal's efforts saved her while he perished, you know, and was able to do that. But very tragic. This is a good guy and a good example in our community, which we had as well, you know. I remember him way back, obviously, from The Cosby Show. But one of the things very early, you know, I'm a hip hop guy. One of my favorite people back in the days were Houdini. And I remember seeing this way back in the day.
Well, as you know, we're here to talk about the funk.
So obviously back then, I like to see, oh man, Theo, he's doing stuff and everything, right? But I believe that was part of his director's debut. So he actually had a part in directing this film here, Houdini being from Brooklyn, The Cosby Show being placed in Brooklyn. I think you see Run DMC and the Beastie Boys and everybody in there too. But this was a nice little fun um, thing to see Malcolm-Jamal Warner do away from the Cosby Show, showing his skills. And of course, he was an accomplished musician. He played instruments. He was in the scene, somewhat quietly in the scene, but because he carried himself so with so much dignity, you know, he wasn't into any scandals, anything like that. Even though Bill Cosby was, he stayed clear of that also, you know, and just presenting himself as a good dude. Here's a little bit more of that video of Theo getting down.
It's hard with shoulder win. Cause like 5 + 5, we equal 10. So easy on the tweeter, heavy on the base. With some help from Master D, we gonna ride.
That's how I remember him. You know, good dude, good vibes. You know, they would put on the shows and the dances and everything and all the troubles and everything that they went through as young men in the show. And it was just good viewing and good to see things like that as well. So hats off to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. And although we're really saddened by this loss in our community, you know, hopefully his daughter, his wife, his family will continue on. He has a good name within our community. He helped raise a lot of us just to see a resemblance of us on national TV on that Thursday night lineup. So, you know, take a little time out. Maybe you want to watch some more of the Cosby Show, you know, to get the good vibes back. He had a lot to say also. He wanted to take out the N-word from hip hop. A lot of people think it's crazy, but maybe in an evolved mind, it is. I've seen comments on that. It's just time to take that word out. Just things that he didn't want to affect the community any more negatively than it already has been portrayed. You know, even when he did the show Malcolm and Eddie, you know, he had some unsettling moments that he just had with the writing and how things were portrayed on screen as well. He didn't want to be linked with certain things and certain stereotypes. So, you know, here's to a job well done to Mr. Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Respect. Show your respect in the comments. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. As we know, a lot of things are going on, which I will address in my live Friday, 9 p.m. But I really just wanted to dedicate this one to Malcolm-Jamal Warner and, you know, say my piece there. So peace to you. R.I.P. Peace to the family. Peace to everybody in the community alike as we mourn this greatness. Peace out to you.